So I went up to the homie Obsolete's house up in
keeps
NorCal.
coming up.
Yeah, he's
Big
like
shout
a
out,
legend.
bro.
Like back in the day on the forums, he was everybody's favorite breeder for sure. Like you ask anybody, Obsolete's a legend. He was known for like the alien strains back then, and he made all those orange hybrids. But I went up to his house back in the day, and he had this sour apple. And like when I smelled that, I was like, this was like before the term exotic was even a term. I was like, this smells like tropical exotic fruit. Like this is incredible. But it was just kind of like airy and not that potent, but the flavor's insane. I was like, we need to like cross this to something potent and with some density or whatever. And I was like, so I gave it to lump status, and he was like, I'll reverse it or I'll reverse cookies and cross it to the sour apple. And so he did that. But then he only got 4 seeds. And so he popped those 4 seeds, and then like he gave me the buds of those 4 seeds. And the number 2 pheno and the number 4 pheno were both really fire. The number 2 smelled like some old school perps, like some Urkel GDP, which was like more sour apple leaning. Cause that sour apple to me is like a Mendo perps. People say it's like Cindy 99 crossed to sour diesel. Cause they say it's like sour diesel crossed to pineapple equals sour apple. But like Obsolete and like Inspecta, CSI Humboldt, like I remember they thought it was like an Urkel or a Mendo Perps cross was what sour apple was. But anyway, so the number 4 pheno of that cross was like this razzmatazz kind of like pastry, fruity smell. And I was like, man, what would be a cool name for like a sour, or I mean, for an apple and a cookie, you know, what's a cool apple and a cookie? And I was like, oh, Apple Fritter. That's a cool name. Like that sounds like a dope strain name. And I was telling Lump, like, dude, that's fucking sick. And like, I didn't think it smelled like apple fritter donuts, although it does have that pastry smell and stuff. I just like, oh, that's a sick strain name. And then like that same day, I was like going through like a Target, looking at the ice cream sections. Cause like sherbet was like the new hype. Like, you know, cookies was like, you know, the hype of 2010 or whatever. Here's like 2012, 2013, and sherb's all the hype. So I'm looking at all these ice creams and stuff. And I see like the like popsicle brand, like sherbet ice creams, and they say the flavor on it's Reckless Rainbow. And I was like, oh, that's a sick strain name. So like the number 2 pheno we called Reckless Rainbow, and then the number 4 pheno we called Apple Fritter.
Wow, out of 4 seeds.
Yeah,
and that was you who found those.
Well, no, Lump popped them, and he gave me buds of all 4. It's like, tell me which ones you like the best.
But you named them,
and then
you
I
guys
came
did
up
that
with the
together.
names. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like, so like he gave me all, like he made some other crosses at the same time, but he gave me the cut as well.
Is the Rainbow Sherbet the RS11?
No, Reckless Rainbow.
Reckless Rainbow, which is what MP Cali used to run too, I feel like,
yeah,
right?
So I was good friends with like KRD at the time too.
There we go.
I've known KRD for a long time. So I told Lump Status like, yo, can we give these cuts to my buddy KRD? He grows really good flower and like the shit will be proper. And he's good at keeping stuff tight. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, all right, let's give it to him. So we gave him to him, and like he was running them, doing really well. But then like after like, I don't know, a year or two, he sold the cut of Apple Fritter to like large like Asian grows in LA for, let's just say like, you know, over $50,000. And like, in my opinion, you know, Lump should have been able to been the one to sell that cut, even though he wouldn't have at the time, but he sold it out. And then like, I hooked up I knew MP Cali, and I knew he was really knowledgeable, and I linked him with KRD to get a job with KRD to work in the grow. And then like, I guess MP Cali took the cut, and then I don't know if it was MP Cali or KRD, but like they gave it to Seed Junkie, and then like Seed Junkie started breeding with it. And then like I hit up Seed Junkie. I was like, you know, I was passionate about the Fritter. I was like, oh man, that's kind of lame that you're going to breed with Fritter. Like if you are, you should do like a collab with Lump or whatever, you know? He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that or whatever. But instead he just called it like, I think maybe Secret Cookie, or the Hidden Pastry was the cross of like the Apple Fritter Cushmints. I don't know. He said the Secret Cookie was really like bee cookies. So who knows, you know, or whatever. But
yeah, Lump definitely made that strain famous.
And then like the
He's
Fritter
known
just
as the
slowly
Fritter
got
guy.
out, you know, because of that. And then just got out, like, you know, that cut was so hype, and like KRD was killing it with it. Like he was growing it really well. So like
I had some.
It wouldn't have gotten to the level it did if KRD didn't start growing it, because he was growing it heavy and marketing it heavy to where people thought he was the breeder of Apple Fritter. Like, I mean, they're on the cover of High Times magazine for Fresh Baked for Apple Fritter, even though it's a lump status strain, you know? I mean, they grow it really well, but that should be lump status on the cover there, you know? But I mean, regardless, it's like, it's crazy to see. It's like probably like last year or a couple years ago, I'd say Runts and Apple Fritter were the most bred with strains by far. You know, everybody has Apple Fritter, everybody's breeding with it. And it is pretty cool to be like, oh, like to see how far and wide and popular it's gotten. To be like, oh, I named that shit. You know? And it's awesome to see like Lump was able to use that and breed and further refine that line and work across the Reckless Rainbow to the Apple Fritter. And then like, you know, further work that line. He has all kinds of cool lines from that. And he's built this insane brand off of that. And he's just killing it. Like, dude, his facilities, fire, like bro. I've been to like over a dozen legal facilities, and Lump Status is by far the nicest and cleanest facility I've been to.
Wow. Everything is fucking proper everywhere, bro, dude. That
but they've had a lot of issues too in terms of legalization. Like their permit expired. Like they're trying to, you know, like they have provisional permits. Everybody's temporary permits. They're trying to like renew it way in advance. They never got the renewal. City shut off their lights. Like they came and like raided them.
I saw that on. They were posting
the day after they were raided. They received the renewal in the mail. They're still waiting for the power to get turned on, and people like they're like in Sacramento. People came in and like broke in and stole what else was up. So like there was like a year span in like 2020 or so where they weren't on the market because they had all these issues. But then like they came back strong and they're crushing it better than ever.
Stop, bro.
Yeah,
that's sick to hear, man.
Hey, if you like that video and you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. First Smoke of the Day clips.